Hey everybody, welcome to aboard the Ad Astra. This is my ship as we travel through the sketch space. What is the sketch space? It's a place made up of your creativity and your imagination. It's a fun, safe place to participate in this drawing exercise that we do every 2 weeks. And we get to draw and we get to work out our imagination. Um, it's I'm not looking for any sort of finished masterpieces or anything like that. This is a sketch, just the beginning, just you're the beginning of something new and good, you know. And I'm glad you're here. I'm looking forward to getting to do this drawing exercise again. It's so much fun um, doing this every 2 weeks. The way it works is that we go into we use the drawing prompt, which is which I call the creation engine. I'll show you that right now. It's this thing, and we'll eventually, I'll spin it up and it'll come up with a who, what, and a where. I was thinking about this, and I know that doing all three is a challenge, and given that we do it in like 25-ish minutes, I think what we can do this time is just, if you want to just do one of them, a what, or a where, you can do that. You can do a who, what, or a what, where. Those combinations. You can do one. You can do three. Okay, because I've been thinking about the creative process, and I wanted to kind of talk about that a little bit, because I was in a community chat with one of my coworkers, Vincent Nell. He's a production director at the church I work for, and we were talking about creativity and how hard it is. And I drew this up here. That this is the creative process. I googled the creative process and it came up with these little things, and I wanted to illustrate them and sort of express them in a way that is, that people can understand it more. And I feel like it's like drawing, or not just drawing, but any sort of creative activity is like climbing up a mountain. And if you follow along with it, there's this guy down here. You get this big idea and you think that you can do this. It's like so awesome. You see a piece of artwork and you want to do it, and you're at this stage. This is awesome. But then you start doing it and you sort of figure out that there's a little bit of nuance and things that you didn't take into account. And then you're thinking about this project, and it's a little tricky, right? And then inevitably you get to this point where this is terrible. Why did I take this on? Why? And then it sort of manifests into yourself, like, I can't do this. I feel terrible. But this is where I know a lot of people get hung up on. But if you keep going, you get to this part right here where you kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel, and you're like, this might be okay. Keep trying, keep going. And you don't know until you start trying, right? And then you get to this point where it's, you're almost at the end of this project, and this is awesome, and you're liking it, right? And then you get to the top of the mountain, and that's where you are awesome, and I want you guys to feel awesome. Okay. That's what it takes. All this stuff right here, from this is tricky, this is terrible, to I am terrible, this might be okay, to this is awesome. This right here can go in a big loop, you know, over and over again till you actually get to the end point of this creative process. And that is how it works. I'm not going to tell you that being creative is easy. It's something that if you work at it, you are going to be rewarded with whole new views on life, whole new perspectives, and whole new ways of thinking if you get to that top, if you push through the creative process. I promise you that is how it is and how you know what this space here, this sketch space, is really the start of anything that I want you guys to, like, you know, be comfortable with knowing that the creative process is not the easiest thing, but it's worthy of something, worthy of your time. And it could be like how we do here, it's all about drawing and stuff, right? But it could be other aspects of your life and everything. So if you guys want this, you know, I'll certainly just send it off to you to let me know. You can just email me or let me know in the chats, and I'll figure out a way to get it to you. Okay, so let's go to our word generator. Let's see here. Hold on, really quick. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and start the creation engine up. It'll come up with a who, what, where. Remember, for this one, you can do one, you can do two, a combination of any of the two, or you can do all three. It's up to you. I don't want to like limit you or make you feel uncomfortable with having to do all three. It's whatever you guys want, you know. But like Orson Welles said one time, the enemy of art is the absence of limitations. And I'm establishing these limitations for this who, what, where, so that we know, because we could be spending forever drawing whatever. So let's get pointed and do what what the creation engine comes up with. Okay, then afterwards what's going to happen is that we can share those images to a photo upload service, and it comes part of a photo album. It's already set up. I'll give you the URL later after we finish drawing. Okay, all right, let's go ahead and see what our prompt is today. All right, Elf is having a big misunderstanding in a tree. Wow, that big misunderstanding is pretty abstract. But again, remember, you can do Elf. You can just do a drawing of Elf, and we're talking about Jon Favreau's Elf movie. Will Ferrell was the guy. We can do that. Interesting. Or you can do a tree, or even whatever a big misunderstanding means to you. Or you can do a combination of the two, like Elf in a tree, or Elf having a big misunderstanding, or maybe a tree is having a big misunderstanding. Who knows? This is open up to your interpretation and to your imagination. Okay, so there we go. So Elf, a big misunderstanding in a tree. Let's get to next. I'll put the, let me get this, bear with me guys. Elf, oops, a big misunderstanding in a tree. I'll put that up in the top there. I see, you see it's up there. Elf, a big misunderstanding in a tree. Now, well, I put up 30 minutes on the thing. Usually I say 25 minutes, but I think let's go with 30 and let's get started. Okay? So, hello everybody. Oops. Hello Lorraine. Hello Karina. And hello to Ro. Thank you for coming by. Let's see here. All right. Yes, here. Okay. I'm gonna start the clock. So elf, a big misunderstanding in a tree. Usually what I end up doing too is like spending some time looking for elf. Some what do you call it? Reference, right? So what I'm gonna do is drag some elf elements into my canvas here. Some other action shots of him. Oh, here's a nice one. Now you guys, I'm sure that, because I don't know if you guys have iPads or anything like that, you can just open up a new tab or on your browser, take some pictures, look for some pictures. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Okay, I think that's enough for now. All right, so I'm gonna try to do all three, and I'm gonna start with a tree. Yes, so many elves to choose from. Oh, and here's another thing. So many elves to choose from. Rose says, don't get caught up. You can make up an elf, right? It doesn't have to be. I'm sorry. It doesn't have to be Will Ferrell as an elf. As elf, I just thought it was pretty funny. I love that movie. And Jon Favreau, he's an amazing guy, right? There you go. Very good, very good. Legolas. Legolas is a great elf. I'm pretty sure Link, look at you. Ro coming up with a whole bunch of ideas. So yeah, doesn't have to be elf, Will Ferrell's elf. I'm gonna do that. Could be Legolas, and then it doesn't have to be Christmas, or Link. Doesn't have to be, again, it doesn't have to be Christmas. Link is really cool. Yeah. Let's see here. So I already burned like 4 minutes. Let's see. I'm going to. I know this is weird, but I usually do these horizontal, but I think this one's gonna, because of the tree, I'm gonna do it vertically because I'm doing Will Ferrell's Elf. And I'm gonna work a little bit on the layout of my thing first. So I'm just gonna do a really quick sketch of what just laying out what the scene's gonna look like. So I know there's gonna be a sort of a Christmas tree. If you guys can see that. And I think then I'm going to have him on top of the tree somehow. So see, I'm just being loose with my shapes right now, just to get the overall idea of what I'm going to be, what sort of story I'm telling here. Galadriel. That's a great one. The Dark Crystal Elves. I don't know, are they elves? I guess they are. And oh, there's Dobby. If you're into Harry Potter, Dobby is an elf. So many great ideas. Okay, I'm not getting into the details for right now. I'm just laying out my idea here. In my mind, I think of Big Misunderstandings. Have you ever watched? This might be dating myself, really. There used to be a show called Three's Company, and that was the whole basis of that show. There was always big misunderstandings between all the Jack and Janet and Chrissy and everything. That was all built on that. That was the whole idea of why they always ended up having these shenanigans. So I'm wondering, what if I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna stick with this Christmas thing because you guys can do whatever you want. Ro put up a whole bunch of different elves ideas. I want to do Christmas because I sort of miss Christmas. And last Christmas, which was great, it was fun. I think the whole year of 2020 sort of robbed us of a lot of joy. So I'm gonna go ahead and go back and try to reclaim that. It's just some funny stuff. So what I'm gonna do is let's see here. I need to look him up though. I don't know if you guys know who I'm trying to get here at there. There we go. But I don't want the new Grinch. I want like, there you go, I guess. He doesn't really have a snout like that. This is the value of reference. He has kind of a smaller nose there. And he has like big eyes. See, this is my favorite. This is my favorite Grinch, the one done by Chuck Jones. Chuck Jones was a classic Looney Tunes artist. He was responsible for pretty much like this golden age of Looney Tunes cartoons, Bugs Bunny and Porky Pig, Sylvester the Cat, all those guys. Which reminds me, I don't know if you guys have HBO, but there's that new Tom and Jerry thing. I watched a little bit of the first part, and you know, I just don't have it anymore. It's, I don't know. Okay, I'm losing his. There we go. I'm trying to get the right expression here. I mentioned Three's Company. See, people who know the Three's Company, they'll know the Regal Beagle. Let me know if you know what the Regal Beagle is all about. Here I'm getting into the details and stuff I shouldn't be, because I should work on the whole thing as a whole. Get my I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. Take this guy away. sort of putting a hint of what Will Ferrell is like. If you think about it, you take these, there's certain qualities about him, you know, the costuming, of course, is going to be very much elf. But the cool thing is this hair, you know, and he's sort of this big kid in a very, you know, adult body, right? Approach whoever you're drawing the same way. Think about what makes that person, you know, or character that character. So for like Legolas, what makes Legolas? Definitely his bow and arrow, right? His long hair, and elves have those really pointy ears. Link, if you look up Link, he has a definite, you know, he has the same elf ears, and a hat that's similar. I don't think Legolas actually wears a hat. He probably has more of a hat like this guy here. But anyways, so yeah, just mostly just to think about, you know, what is behind your character, what is, you know, that person doing, well, not just doing, but like, you know, what makes him special, and definitely, you know, special to you. I'd love to see what that is. What, you know, what do you mean? You know, because these characters strike a tone differently for each one of us, right? Because I know that my wife is a big Orlando Bloom fan, and so, you know, that's going to be probably why she picks Legolas. You know, see, I'm just drawing lightly, right? And then adding details more and more as I go in. Draw over your things. Again, we're not looking for finished sketches here, right? We're looking for a start of something that you can then develop later on, okay? So and I'm just jumping you know, jumping around my whole piece. I know. Drawing Orlando Bloom is going to be a challenge. But just draw an elf. I mean, this right here certainly doesn't look like Will Ferrell right now. We're just looking for the overall sort of story. Okay. It's got these shoes, curved shoes. I mean, he's very much a cartoony. Oops, that wouldn't be there. A cartoony elf, right? I have an idea of what I'm trying to do here. I just tough time trying to express it here. All right, 7 minutes, guys. You guys are having a good day so far. There has to be a commonality here, and I'm trying to figure out what it is. Had an inkling of a story and my characters. And now this right here is bothering me. Oops. I'm gonna get rid of this arm. really don't know what the big misunderstanding would be. You know what, maybe I do this. It's not really a big misunderstanding, but I think it's kind of funny. He look like without his hat on? Okay, that's right. Maybe. I'm just scribbling out little details and stuff because I don't have a lot of time right now. Okay, my hands are utter crap right now, but I'm just trying to get the idea of a story going on here. Of the interaction between these two very iconic Christmas characters. And we are at 23 seconds. How are you guys doing? All right, that is time. Let me know. I think what we can do right now, for the sake of time, let's we'll move on. But so in the next thing, we're gonna go to the show and tell part. But before that, I'm gonna give you a bit of time to finish up a drawing, to finish up things, details that you want to do. This right here is the URL that you can go to upload the drawing that you just did. Make sure that you put your name on it, sign it, because every artist should sign their work, but also so that I can credit you and talk about you directly for whose drawing is whose. So I'd love to see them. Let's take, I'm gonna put maybe another, let's make it 10 minutes. Yeah, let's just do 10 minutes. So take 10 minutes, finish up things. The URL is right here. You can drop it up into that URL, and definitely make sure that you sign your work, okay? which I'm gonna do this way. That's fine. Okay, so 9 minutes left, and it'll automatically get to the show and tell. Okay, all right. All right, 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. I think I'm done with mine. while waiting and stuff, question for you guys who are in. Let me know like certain tutorials and things that I could do and film. And then, you know, I'll do those in between times. I'll put them up in the YouTube channel. And, you know, if it's drawing faces, drawing hands, perspective. I mean, I said I was going to do that last time. I didn't get to it yet, but I will. Any sort of anything, digital art, basic shapes, shading, value, color, anything like that. Let me know, and I just need to, you know what's valuable to you guys, so that I could, you know, make them. All right. I'd love to help in that way. All right. It looks like it's a little less than 2 minutes. Thirty seconds, less than 30 seconds. Okay. All right. Okay, guys. Let's see here. I think you guys are still getting some stuff up. I can give you more time by talking about what I think is sort of working with this drawing. What I try to do is create a composition based on triangles, a lot of triangles. I think it'd be best if I go back to, let's go back to this, and I'll just wait for you guys to get more drawings up in the thing. What I was doing here, just do something like that, was creating sort of lead lines, sort of a triangle thing for my different characters here. And I count the tree as a character as well. Get a better pencil here. So this sort of thing happening here with a tree, and then we have, you know, that sort of thing happening. So they're all following this sort of line, and then, you know, you can approach drawing that way. Its composition is, if you look back at other paintings, they all use these sort of shapes to compose from. What you're really trying to do is guide a person's eye to different parts of your drawing or your painting or whatever. But this right here is the major line that sort of is the basis, the foundation for everything that's happening here. What else? I used a lot of these guys. You won't see it in my thing because I added these after I put it up to Yogile. But these mini lines sort of, these are the tree lights to sort of point to the characters, and it also gives this sort of repetition here happening. And there's not a lot of information in terms of color here right now because it's all just black and white, right? But if you think about it, there are ways to guide your drawing, the eyes of the person who's you're looking at your drawing, by using these sort of invisible shapes that are just part of what is called composition. And you can do that too with color and things like that. But for this piece, I can further go into this with color, with another color pass, and to further that composition sort of thing. But remember, it's all about just guiding people to where you want them to look at things. Okay. All right, let's go check here. What do we got? All right, let's go back to Karina has a good suggestion for, let me get to show and tell right now. Karina says, I think I would like a tutorial on shading and light, maybe one on drawing bodies. That's good. I'm going to put that down on my list. Shading and light, and drawing bodies. And definitely I will put that to, let me just put that down. Shading and light and drawing bodies. Okay, that's good. That's good. I will put that on my list and do some really quick tutorials on that. Okay. So here's mine again. Like I said, I use this triangle sort of composition, and each of those lines aligns with where I think the body, like the where I want the eyes to sort of look at, like, yeah, so Lorraine says, yes, maybe a tutorial on composition. Great. That is a good one. All right, this is good because then I can look for ways to because I know I didn't want Sketchspace to be a whole bunch of tutorials and stuff. I wanted to just be just a fun space to just do things and to just do by learning. Learn by doing, the other way around. Because there's a lot of times people get twisted up in the ways of doing things, the techniques and stuff, but it's best just do it and learn, just get into the fire, right? In that way, I'm hoping that what happens is that as you're doing this, I'll do these tutorials, little videos and stuff, and then you can pick up little skills from that and get better, so that as we get to the actual drawing prompts and stuff, you know, you can use those little skills and stuff to, you know, that you can pick up to create things on faster. Okay. All right, let's get to the next one. All right, this is from Ewan, who's done ooh, darn it. Yeah. It looks like it's a Link thing. Yes, because he get down from there, Link, Zelda. Is he talking? This must be Kirby. Wispy Woods. Oh, this is one of the characters from Kirby. So he's got the tree, he's got the elf, and the business. Oh my goodness. I don't know. Yeah, so the big misunderstanding here, I'm not totally getting, but I think maybe the big misunderstanding is Link is in the wrong game. That's what I'm getting, and this is cool. And I love all the elements that he's included, because I know, like this is the ocarina and his sword and his shield, and there's Link. Now, can you tell that this is a person who plays a lot of video games? Yes. So it's cool. You know what's funny about Zelda? There's always this misunderstanding that Zelda is, because it's the first game is called The Legend of Zelda, right? But the main character is named Link, and so people confuse the two. But if you're a real good gamer, you know the difference. All right, great, Ewan. This is great. I love the story, and I love, actually, the cool thing about here is that he's got some good composition too, because he's using some sort of negative space here to figure out, you know, how to guide the viewer's eyes. In Western society, we read from left to right, top to bottom, right? So there's this really cool lead line here, this branch that he is, you know, leading you down to this character. Then we go down here to this tree here, and then to the conversation that's happening here. This is sort of the punchline here, right? This is a design thing as well, that people read in sort of a C fashion, like top right, and then all the way down to the left and down, and then finish to the right. And this is exactly what he's done here. Start at the top right, a big giant C, and then coming down. So intuitively, you've done that, and that's really great. So good job. Good job. All right. Next. All right, Lorraine. The kids saw you move to the Christmas tree. Okay, this whole Elf on the Shelf thing, which is awesome that you pulled this reference. I never really got it myself, and in fact, explain it to me. Explain it to me, guys, because the whole Elf on the Shelf thing was just so weird to me, you know. So I guess, oh, okay, I get it now. I get it. Because the elf is supposed to move, right, from place to place without being seen. So Santa is punishing the with this is funny. Oh, darn it. Sorry. With a slipper. Is this... He totally is in trouble. He is in trouble. Yeah, and Karina, I don't know what Elf on the Shelf is about too. It is so random to me. It just seems so foreign to what it is. But yes, I like the Asian discipline, and so Lorraine, I'm pretty sure is Asian here. Yes, Chinelas chancla, which is like chinelas is the these words chinelas and chancla or chancla. They're the Asian and Latino, I think, Spanish word for slipper. So yeah, that's so true. Karina says Santa is crushing that slipper. He in big trouble. See, this is really cool because you guys are. This is a good detail, right? That's a clenched fist. Not. I mean, not if that face right there just tells you a whole bunch about what's going to be happening to this poor elf. That right there is confirmation. So, I mean, Santa, you go. Yeah, Karina, I like the tears too. Look at those guys. I mean, the eyes too are just like big and round. This is a scared elf. So you got really good emotions. That's another tutorial I can do. Drawing emotions. Because faces are my most favorite thing to draw. I almost said favoritist, but I've been corrected very harshly that is not the right word to say. So faces are my most favorite thing to draw because they can tell like a great deal of the story that's happening in a scene, so I put that down on my list. That's great. All right. Thank you, Lorraine. This is awesome. You're, I bet you this Santa's Filipino. I'm just going to say. I think that would really make my day if the Santa was a Filipino. Like a brown Santa. All right. Thanks, Lorraine. This is great. Thank you so much. All right. Look at this. Elf. This is a great little elf. You've captured the squat nature of an elf. I love what you've done here with the color and stuff. You've been using your watercolor pens. That's so great. This is really cool right here. What's happening here? Because if you lay down a base color, right, but then go over it with more strokes, that looks like like shadows and stuff. And so you're feeling and getting this this sort of the folds in the hat. Yeah, it's very elfy. Very elfy, very, very elfy. Yeah, I love the face, and the ears are definitely elfy. And the shoes. I wonder. I gotta look back into this. I gotta do some research, like why elves, dress the way they do, like these curvy slipper things. I mean, Karina says, Orlando looks better in that pic you drew, Ro. You improved him. That's, yeah. This is more like Orlando Bloom and a half. Beautiful. Sophie helped me with the ears. She said, draw a circle first, Mom. See? There you go. Amazing. Sophie, good job. Breaking down complex shapes into simpler shapes makes it much. Here's the deal. You've got a big problem. It is hard to go ahead and take, address the problem as a whole, this big giant problem, divvy it up into smaller pieces. So like a shape of an ear, you can definitely do a circle like what Sophie said, and then just add a triangle on top of it and then erase that line, and you got an ear, elf ear. This also could be like, if you turn this over, it could be an ice cream cone. Break things into shapes. Look into these, if you look at like a tree out there, you're gonna just, the trunk is basically a cylinder, right? And then other little cylinders branching out of that thing. Let me go to, let me go here, just really quick. I just want to show you this, because this would be good. So a tree basically is a sort of cylinder, right? And then you've got other cylinders breaking off. Right? But then, they'll end up going to cones, basically. And then you can just repeat that, because they get smaller and smaller as they are going out into different branches and stuff. And then basically leaves are just like different sized ovals or ellipses, and then use your eraser, get rid of all those lines in between, because then you got your contour on the outside, and there you got it. You got a tree, right? Simple. That's a pretty good looking tree, just gonna say. So if you think about it, everything is made up of shapes, and you want to know those shapes and figure those out and break a complex problem into a big problem into little problems. The little problems become easier to solve, right? So that's what you want to do. Cool. So good. And thank you for the assist, Sophie. You done good. All right. Thank you, Ro. I love the colors too. Very Christmassy, red and green. You know why they did red and green? They're basically complementary colors. That is a good thing. I'm gonna put that on my list as well. Color theory. See this? Oh man, this is a great session. We're expanding. Okay. But color on the color wheel, There is red and green are on opposite sides of the color wheel, and so they have this sort of vibration. So in our minds, they're just they have this sort of electricity between them, and it was really a marketing thing, so that at Christmas in the stores they would do red and green, and basically everything was just that stood out. So that, color is a very important thing, and I thought your use of color here is great. And the different shades, so cool. Thank you so much. I love this. I love this submission. Yeah, and she has these watercolor pencils, and everybody has their different mediums. Mine is, I love digital, and that's just my thing. But seriously, do what makes you comfortable. I'm just writing color theory down again. All right, next we have, let me see if I got everybody. Ooh, I didn't get this one, huh? Whoa. Sophie, look at this tree. See, I think intuitively she knew how to drawing this tree. I'm impressed with this link here. This is great. I love the the simple sort of triangles with that missing side for the eyes. That's a common way to draw eyes, and especially in this way, because it expresses a sort of what's the word I'm looking for, really, just a sort of a like he's having a hard time here. Overall too, the proportions of this character feel really good. Yeah, I love that. But this right here, this is some good detail on this character. I mean, is this, I wonder who this is. Is this, tell me, is this a different elf? Oh, oh my goodness, why does it keep doing that? So there's a cartoon Link and then a more developed Link, I guess. Is that what I'm getting? But I do like, ugh. This is really good. And then I love the tree, the contours. See, this is another different way of doing this, a tree, right? Okay, so she's explaining that Cartoon Link is in a tree and Breath of the Wild Link. So they're both Link, and this is the I think it was Wind Waker's cartoon-y Link, and then this is Breath of the Wild, a more detailed. If you ever played these games, they're amazing games. But I mean, I have to commend you on the detail here of this Link here, with the straps and even the detail on the handle of the sword here, I think. And the other thing, I think this is pretty darn cool. This hand is amazing. Hands are the toughest thing to draw, but you really caught this sort of this face palming action, which is really tells you a lot, right? you have expressed emotion here, um, both in the simplest way here, but also in this very detailed way here. So really great, really great. And also, I love. Last thing I'll say about this is the like sort of layering of the leaf bunches of a tree. That is another way of doing this. So you get this sense of 3D-ish in a 2D space, right? So it's all about us fooling the eye, and there's techniques on doing that. And she did this really well by seeing that this right here is in front, this whole leaf shape here, and there's this one back here that is, on in behind it. So really cool. And then like these branches leading up, and it's really cool. Really good job, Sophie. Really great job. So good. Yep. Really cool. Good job. Nice job. Yes, I love that. Hand is amazing. And I mean, hands again are just the hardest thing to do. I'm gonna put hands down as a subject, but I gotta tell you, it's one of the hardest things, so I'm reticent to do it. But yeah, let's just do it. Let's just try it. Okay, who else did I get here? Let me just see. I got this one, this two here. I think this is the last one here. Oh, I always leave Karina low for the last. Elf is having a big misunderstanding. This is not your shelf. Okay. This elf is pretty cool. I think you must have done a sort of a like a good reference to, looked at reference for this. I love it. I love how Elf on the Shelf really is based again seeing sort of a like the circle, the simple shape for the head here, and then a like a cone that is resting on top of that circle, which is just a sphere, right? The way that's curved here then tells us that this is a sphere. It has 3D shape, right? Love the eyes, the expression here is pretty cool, and the neck thingy is really cool. And it's simple, again, simple shapes to make this, and it reads as the Elf on the Shelf, right? So good. But then you get to this guy. This is a very, very nice squirrel, and you see, and the exasperation on him, right? I love the sweat marks here. This is a common cartoon thing to show sort of action. And Karina, you have like the best handwriting. I wish I had handwriting like yours. Okay, and then the detail on this tree is pretty amazing, right? Just the this is called rendering. So drawing a sort of the shape here, which I think is really great. Again, I think this composition works here as well because there's triangle happening here, and it's framed by this negative space inside the sort of the crook of this branch and the trunk here. This is where you're looking at, right? you're seeing the action happen here in this space. So yeah, and the for sure the shading on this tree is amazing. How it's getting darker here, and you know, in especially in the crook, like right here when this sort of notch where this branch meets here, so cool. Light source is coming from this way, hitting the thing, hitting the trunk. So, you know, and then just these little squigglies really show off that sort of rough nature of a tree trunk, you know, and the bark that has it, and it's really, really good. The one thing about here is like, and if you'll notice anywhere in shadows, the way shadows work, and I'll work this into the shading and light thing, there's this thing called ambient occlusion, where in the where things meet, where shapes, you know, meet. Like if you look in the corner of your room right now, where like the ceiling hits the corner of your room, do you notice that it's darker in that crevice? That's because the way light works, it can't really get into the smaller spaces, and that's why it's darker. So same thing here, that's what's happening here. And I love that you caught that it's darker in where the notches are, you know, where things start to meet, where shapes start to meet, and that is, you know, it's just the nature of light. And a lot of drawing and painting is capturing shading and light to make it look 3D, you know, and that's just really cool, and you did that really well here. So I mean, from the rendering on the tree trunk to this scene happening here is pretty great, and you really captured a funny story here, a funny thing happening. And so you know, it's great work, Karina. So good. So yeah, let's see if I have anything else. Anybody else? I'm gonna give it one more reload. I think that's it. So yeah, guys, I mean, such great work. Ewan, thank you so much. This is really good. I love your composition. Sophie, you know, that hand is amazing, and then the way you drew your tree is really cool too. Lorraine, so funny. Like this elf on the shelf thing, you know, I never really got myself. But Filipino Santa, you know, with that chinelas is I feel really bad for that elf. And then we had Ro. That's great. You know, your use of color is really cool. I would, you know, I want you to explore that more. You know, there's certain techniques where with color, these watercolor brush pens and stuff, you know, that you can do. Like you really started to get that here in the hat. And I love that because that really looks like really good texture and stuff. And then lastly, Karina, you know, I have some great work here. All right, you guys, this is such good work. I am just so happy to that you guys come, and I'm gonna get working on these tutorials and stuff, and then I'll let you guys know, you know, how you'll see them on the YouTube channel, and hopefully I can get those, you know, out to more people, and I hope that it it helps them with this artistic journey, And so next sketch space is Saturday, March 13th, in 2 weeks, same time, same places. If you got Facebook, get me on fb.com/thesketch.space2020, on Instagram at thesketchspace. The best way to get the content is going to be on YouTube. Really, it's just, not everybody has a Facebook account. And in fact, I think a lot of people are starting to jettison Facebook. Who knew? Everybody thought that Facebook was going to be a thing forever and ever and ever, but who knows? I don't know. Things change, and we got to be agile and stuff, right? So the best place is get bit.ly/the sketch space is the best place. I'm working on trying to get a better URL. I might even make a site, and I'll let you guys know about that so it's easier to get, so I don't have to get all these links to you guys, because Facebook doesn't allow me to use at the sketch space because somebody's using it for some reason, or they beat me to it, but I'm also on Twitch as well, twitch.tv/the sketch space. Don't forget that you can email me any who, what, and wheres, and I can add it to the creation engine, and then maybe in subsequent sketch spaces your prompt might show up, and then we get to draw that thing. And again, I think I'm going to do this sort of now. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to draw all three things, who, what, where. You can choose a who, a what, or a where based on whatever the creation engine does. If you wanted to just draw an elf, we could have just drawn an elf, or a tree. That would be awesome too. It's the most important thing is that you are drawing, you are getting something down on paper, or on your digital device, and starting your artistic journey. And that is the most important thing to me, and I hope that you enjoy doing it as much as I do. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for a wonderful time. I am so thankful for you again. Take care, and we'll see you next Sketch Space.